Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. The beat goes on, doesn't it? A perfect 10-0 to start the campaign.
And it's a good locker room to be in, too. Guys don't show up on game day hoping to win. They expect to win. And so far, they've yet to have a letdown.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
Get it, baby. Let's go.
This is Carson. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop. Time to see how Atlanta will line up defensively. This unit coming into this one ranked number 20 against the pass in the NFL.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. Now it's Carson. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They go play action with Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Vic Beasley, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
12.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take this up to about the 7- or 8-yard line. That second down run a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Now's a good chunk of yardage picked up there. And big fella, sometimes he doesn't need a whole lot of space created. He can make his own way.
Ryan. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find... something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week: 18 carries, 138 yards.
Yeah, he could very well be on his way to a rushing title, but guess what? His offensive line, they're meeting separately because they want that rushing title as much as he does, and they want to make sure they get him there.
Wilson now off the bootleg. Flush to his right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
After the interception, here's Ryan. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. K.J. Wright in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. From the left hash, this from 46. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. Pretty move. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held him to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defense.
Accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 7-3 the score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On first down, Ryan. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Frank Clark, he's the one who finally gets him down for what will wind up being a loss of 16 yards. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And his throw here is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now Zaire Jones. In there to make the play. It'll be a loss of 14, and it'll bring up a 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taking it about the 36. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the 2nd quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. But, oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
And they've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
They run it with Carson. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. Ryan Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. It's player spotlight time, and we focus that spotlight on the quarterback, Matt Ryan. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Freeman. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Seattle. Taking it about the 16. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And some space here. Spins past another.
Oh, man.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Man, let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Able to shake him off. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson, escaping the pressure, and he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Will Dissly with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
So the drive there took 6 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried. Because a lot of times, that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And this will be incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And it's 3rd and short.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. To throw is Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. Touchdown, Falcons! Devontae Freeman with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons draw a bit closer.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Zerline good with a PAT, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. This clearly the final play of the half, but no field goal attempt. They're going for it with 3 seconds remaining.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, where it was the visiting Patriots come in and get the victory on the road. Phillip Rivers, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Albert Wilson, a good game there. And then finally, a good one on Monday Night Football between the LA Rams and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's player spotlight time, and we focus that spotlight on the quarterback, Matt Ryan. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
And he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The third quarter starts with a run by Freeman. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And finding the tight end, Hooper. They give him a gain of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. This is Freeman on first and 10. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Ryan now off the bootleg. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a deep.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little. They bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction. Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Wilson out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
It's taken to the 26. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. From midfield now, here's Ryan. And open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They go play action here on first down. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jaron Reed in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll begin the drive with Carson. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Carson. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I used to joke with my teammates who carried the ball a lot. When we got in these situations and they were carrying us home, I used to tell them, boy, you guys just look like Paul Bunyan, just growing stronger, bigger, tougher. And all night long, he's carried this team.
He has indeed. Everything magnified right now. A huge 3rd down conversion. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Penny. Oh, spinning away. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, they won't bump that to his resume reel, but that might be one of the best 1-yard runs I've seen.
Play action. Now Wilson on the move to his left. A bullet throw, but incomplete. He misses yet again, and the struggles here, they look pretty uncharacteristic for him.
You're certainly right about that. Mechanics are the key right now. Feet, arm, not in sync at all. He ends up throwing that one past his receiver that's open.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm. A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Ryan And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
2nd and 10 now. Ryan. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. He's at the 30, 20, 10, touchdown, Falcons. A big play there, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Spinning past him. Now another. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's 3rd and 5. Here's Wilson to throw. Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And his throw is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. We've seen some big kicks in the NFL the last few years, and that one might just rank right up there.
And you know, you can hear the crowd react, right? But I was focused in on the sideline and watched them absolutely erupt. I don't know how many of them thought that he was actually going to make that kick, but how about how they felt when the ball went over the post?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. First down now, but that clock rolling. Throwing now is Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hayes. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, you crowd the line of scrimmage. If they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I was going to say, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros. We can't be totally sure that that was by design, but we do know that a lot of kickers like the ball in the right hash in order to kick the field goal.
Oh, now whistles. And unless he was drawn off, and I don't think he was, this is going to be a first down.
Encroachment, defense.
A pretty large mental mistake right there to give him the first.
It's situational football, and you have to know you're down in distance. On that 4th down, any type of penalty would give them a first down, so you can't jump off sides. You can't encroach. You got to be careful.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So in a driving rain, he steps up, puts it through just like he's practicing in a gym somewhere.
How about that? Any little slip in this weather is going to throw him off. He stepped up there like it was perfect conditions, took dead aim, and knocked it through.
Back to throw. He'll buy some time right. Now a desperation throw deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Falcons, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it's a disappointing way to lose your